Hi, welcome back. This is weekly numerology. We're working with a 9 frequency. Did a little short on the 9 because there was a full moon this past Monday with a 9. Kind of came by a different way of 18, but we were talking about something that needs to be completed. So 9 is the number of completion. 9 is the number of endings, but not all endings are lost. It's a continuum, like nature, right? Like there's an ending and a beginning, there's just a different season. The influencing numbers of this 9 are a 2 and the 7. So 2 says, I'm seeking connection through relationships, right? I'm seeking connection with other people. And the 7 says, I'm seeking connection with myself. I'm seeking solitude, right? And the 9 is saying with those 2 numbers, right? When they're imbalanced, it becomes kind of a higher concept of universal love. Again, the 2, I discover love through relationship, and the 7, I discover love through solitude. I discover love with myself, my true being. And 9 says, I discover completion because I experience both. So it's more about like not necessarily completing something externally. And it's even maybe not even about completing something really big, like, oh my God, I'm done with that relationship, or I'm done with this project I'm working on. It could be. It really could be, but I'm really feeling it's more subtle. And the 9 is actually kind of showing up as wisdom. 9 is one of the numbers that represents wisdom. Maybe we can define wisdom here, like what is wisdom, right? And wisdom is experience that's acted upon, right? You can have a lot of knowledge and you can know a lot of things. And I meet a lot of people that say they know, I know. Right? And now we have the internet and we have social media, we have YouTube, we have all these things. It's like I know all this. So that's good. Knowing is good. Knowing is awareness. Knowing is good. But like the 9 is saying, knowing, let me just backtrack. Knowing is what the 7 is about. 7 likes to know and wants to know why. And so it needs to spend some time researching and kind of going, and it can stay stuck in the mind. Right? You're like, wow, I know that and I know that. And you go down rabbit holes and we go down we go down social media. So the 9 is about wisdom that's embodied, right? So now we're taking it from the 7 to the 9. We're taking the knowledge from the 7 and we're bringing it into the body, and that's wisdom. And wisdom is knowledge acted upon, experience, right? Like you do something differently because you're like, I've been down this road before and I kind of know where it ends up. And sometimes we have to go down the same road over and over and over again. And sometimes we learn just different things, like, okay, now I'm learning that, now I'm learning that. Oh, I didn't see that. So, and we keep taking the same road, hoping for a different result, or hoping like, oh, it's going to end at this like magical, fairyland. And it often doesn't. You're like, huh, okay. So, and that's okay. So the wisdom of that is like, actually, I've taken this road before and I know there isn't a magical fairyland at the end of it. So like, what do I want to do something different? Do you know what I mean? It's not that I have to like, just completely deny the path, or like it didn't exist, or get it out of my life, or like there's nothing really wonderful about that path. You're like, actually, I can just go down that path and enjoy the flowers and the trees and the animals on that path, knowing that there's not a magical fairyland, but I can like walk and enjoy certain things, right? But if I'm wanting the magical fairyland, like maybe it's a different path. So I don't know how that metaphor came out, but it just did. So work with me on this. Just be patient. So, all right. So that's wisdom, right? You're like, I already know that doesn't go there. And that takes some courage and strength to actually act upon your experience and your knowledge, right? And being like, okay, I'm going to make different choices, and just embodying it. And so the 9 this week is kind of representing that, and actually representing it even in more of a subtle way. Because when we know the wisdom, sometimes the shift is really internal. So because there's a 2 this week, and that relationship connection, it might have something to do with your relationships and what you're changing. And so there might be some deeper questions we have to ask ourselves, Does this relationship need more honesty? Maybe there's a belief about this relationship that like no longer fits who I'm becoming, and can I let that go? It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to let the relationships go because we discover something that we didn't see before. It means maybe there's just an adjustment in how we want to proceed. And that adjustment might take the 7. It might be like, I need to kind of go in, kind of sort out what it is that I actually do need to do or let go of, or am I doing a certain behavior that I can let go of in this relationship, or can I change? Can I just like stop doing it? Can there be like an ending of that? Let me give you an example. So I have a good friend and I love her very much. She is in a relationship with somebody and in a situation that, again, in my opinion, isn't going to lead her to the magical fairyland that she wants to get to. And part of her knows this. She knows it, yet she's unwilling to change or end it. And I had to, step out of it. And that was challenging for me, but I did. And I shared it with her. I was honest with her in a kind way. And she was in agreement. She's like, she understood. And we still are very good friends. And yet, then there was a big drama, which has happened before, and they broke up and the thing. And I'm like, okay. And I had to change, my boundary. I'm like, I really can't talk to you or process this relationship because I know you already know how I feel. Essentially your lesson to work out, it's not mine. So I need to like be clear on that. And I need to let go of, like, what do I need to let go of? Yes, her relation, but I need to let go of my expectation of what I think is good for her. Because I might think it's good for her. But that may not be like how she gets to the good for her, or she may never get there, or maybe that isn't good for her. Maybe I just have some humility and be like, I don't really know what's good for you. You're on your own lesson plan. How can I let go of that? And that is wisdom. She came to me the other day and I just had to hold the boundary. And can ask politely about how he's doing, or they're reconnected again. And I'm like, that's great, and then I hold that boundary. I don't really have to say anything. I don't really have to do anything. It's really subtle. It's energetic. I'm just like, I know the wisdom. I'm like, I'm not going to ask her about her boyfriend because she's going to pull me into like a bunch of stories and it's going to drain my energy. And that's not really good for her or for me. Like, I'm not always the person. And there's other people. We need a whole team or tribe or the village of people to help us navigate and reflect and, kind of work out this life and grow. That's kind of what I have for this week. I'd be really interested if you guys, anyone comments, anybody wants to share with me. I'd love to hear kind of how you worked it out this week. If you did, how it came up, maybe it was sudden, maybe it's something you've known. All right, well, have a really, really wonderful week. Have a wonderful 4th of July. I think I just posted a little something about 4th of July because it is the number of freedom on the 4th of July. And watch the short that I post because it's like the obstacles to freedom. So just want everyone to be careful. Physical obstacles, accidents, delays, all that kind of stuff. So I just want you to be cautiously careful and enjoy yourself. That is if you are in the USA or you're just Americans or just people wanting to celebrate Independence Day. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Have a great week and I'll see you soon.